Thank you all so much for being here. I have a little bit of business to sort of go over. We're going to do sort of a presentation, and then I'm going to show you my lovely small apartment closet. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And let's see if we can do this. Perfect. Okay, great. All right, so this is just a little bit of a different intro in terms of my styling sort of history and background. So as you guys know, I graduated from Parsons, started working as a wardrobe stylist the week before I graduated. I've worked with a number of celebrities. I have work that you can find in GQ magazine, TV advertisements that you can find all over TV and mainstream media. But my most rewarding thing is actually working with my private clients. It's a whole other ballgame. So the purpose of closet clean out and closet organization is as follows. So through clothing and closet organization, I help clients live their best lives. I help build their confidence through evolving and rejuvenating their wardrobes. By reorganizing their clothes to look like a boutique, it makes life feel less chaotic. I help provide my clients a sense of pride through their clothing and their everyday appearance. Closet organization is just as important as what's hanging in it. So just a little bit of an overview about what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. Okay, so first thing is sort of a little bit of history about how I got into the fashion world. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the jobs that I've had, and then I'm going to tell you about how I work with private clients. Like I said, working with private clients is a completely different ballgame than, working as a stylist on set for big stars and things of that nature. Then we're going to talk about the good stuff, which is why you guys are probably all here. Why I'm going to talk about why it's important to be organized. I'm going to talk about how to get organized, and then I'm going to give you guys some extra help with some links to help you guys get started. So first thing is first, a little bit of history and how I sort of ended up where I am. I just remember being in high school and like wanting to go shopping all the time and going to the mall all the time. And so I think the fashion world sort of was just innate in me. I loved piecing things together. I loved, matching my shoes with my hat and my bag and all of those types of things. And I think also having a dress code in high school really helped me because I had to sort of think about what it was that I was wearing. More so than I think like the average high school kid, right? So because we had to follow strict guidelines, there was more of a thought process that went into what I was going to put into my closet. As you guys know, I went off to UMass Dartmouth for my undergrad, where I got a BFA in photography. So being in the sort of creative world has always been something that's interested me, that like sort of the arts world. I moved home after college to my parents' house in Massachusetts. And that's when I decided the only way to get out of Massachusetts, still love Massachusetts, but the only way for me to get out was to apply to school. That was like my out, like I could apply for some grants or some, the only way that I was going to be able to leave and afford it is by going to school. So I actually was talking to one of my mom's colleagues who went to FIT, a colleague's wife who went to FIT, and she sort of convinced me that applying to a design school would be a great idea, even though I knew that I wanted to go into fashion styling and not necessarily design. So I went to Parsons. By the grace of God, got accepted. Don't know how. Little old me from Massachusetts. Don't really have a fashion background, but they accepted me and I went off to the big city, packed up my entire life, and have been here ever since. A week before I graduated from Parsons, I met a stylist and I started working underneath him for probably about 2 or 3 years, all for free. That's really how you sort of kind of have to get started, especially in a big city like this. And I learned so much from him. But then at some point, I think the last time that he was late, I sort of lost it because I was like, you have to be on time, right? I'm on time, you have to be on time. And he sort of, got mad at me because I'm the help, right? I'm not supposed to say things like that. So anyways, needless to say, I, at that point, sort of moved away from assisting him and sort of started doing my own thing. At that point, I started my fashion blog at the same time. And because mom and dad said I had to get a real job, I was working with a jewelry designer, again, sort of always wanting to be sort of in the artist sort of creative field. And then because I wasn't making a ton of money there, I had to get a real big girl full-time job. But it was great because I was able to do something that I loved. So I was a personal assistant for a woman, but I was also her personal stylist. And that's sort of why I said yes to the job, because it was like, I don't really want to be a personal stylist, but I'm sorry, a personal assistant, but if I can be your stylist at the same time, then I'll do it. So I worked with her for about 3 years. I didn't leave her for about 3 years because I was young and I thought that that's what loyalty was, even though I was super unhappy. I wanted more out of life. So I finally left her and I ended up going into a fashion company because I was like, I don't want to be a personal assistant, but I definitely want to be immersed in the fashion world. So let me just get this job behind a desk. That didn't last very long because I just don't belong behind a desk. I don't belong in a 9 to 5. So then I decided to leave that company and go into private client styling, which is where I was working with some of the wealthiest women and some of the most insane apartments in Manhattan I've ever seen in my entire life. It was a lot of fun to see that type of stuff. And so that's sort of where I got my start with private client styling. And then simultaneously, I was signed to a modeling and acting agent. And then since then, I've been on my own as a stylist, private client styling, but also styling for television ads, social media advertisements. I've done some like short movies, stories sort of stuff. So that's sort of what I've been doing over the last 4, 5, 6 years on my own. And these are some of the brands that I've worked with over the last few years: Nike, Ciroc, CVS, Saks Fifth Avenue, Rimmel London, Adidas, I mean, you name it. Lots of different types of brands that I've worked with. I've done some music videos. And then I just wanted to show you some of the work. This is the most recent work that I've done. You guys can see on the screen here. This one on the right that's playing right now is for Luminous Diamonds. Skylar Diggins right there. She's a professional basketball player, which was an amazing, amazing dream for me to be able to work with her. And then this one was also pretty fun. This is Body Armor. It's a sports drink.
We all want to win championships. We all want to be the best. We all want it to be our time. The difference between imagining the future and being the future is what you do to get there. Only you can make it better.
All right, so I should tell you, actually, I didn't style every person in that video. I just styled James Harden and all of the basketball people. Not the golf people, not the soccer people, unfortunately, but that was a lot of fun. It was a big project. And all of those kids that you saw playing basketball, I styled those guys as well. And then, okay, so this is how I work with my private clients. So first, most of this is through word of mouth, right? So that's just how I get most of my work, especially with private clients. So somebody could go over to somebody's house and be like, oh my gosh, I love your closet. Or, they see somebody in a great outfit, and usually that's how the conversation begins. Oh, well, I worked with Merideth. She's my stylist, blah, blah, blah. So this is how it works. So usually what happens is we have a consultation. So it's usually on the phone or Zoom, and we talk about what you want to achieve, the goals you want to achieve, your needs, and your dreams, because sometimes we can make those dreams happen and I can sort of make them less dreamlike. Then once the consultation is over, we come up with a date and I come into your closet. So you guys don't really have to do all the hard work. I come in and do it for you. But I do need your assistance in some part. So we will go over every single piece of clothing that you own, every shoe you own, every jewelry piece you own, underwear, socks, I mean, you name it, we go over it, we edit it out. Once that is complete, I do a complete reorganization of your closet. I make it look like a boutique. And then I come up with a list. So all of the things that we sort of edited out, if there's like a hole in your closet, let's just say, you got rid of a faux leather jacket that was sort of ratty and tatty, and and so there's a hole there that maybe you need to have another new leather jacket. So we create a list of all the things to fill in those holes. So then once that list is created, I do a shop, whether that be in person or online. I do the big shop, and then what will happen is then I'll bring the clothing back to your place and we'll have a fitting, and you'll try on all the things that I bought, and you'll keep what you like, and then I'll return everything that you don't like and you don't want to keep. And then that's when I go back into your closet and I sort of fill in those holes. And then I create a lookbook, which is something similar to what this photo looks like on the screen right now. A lookbook is looks that I create of things that you have in your closet that you don't know how to wear, or it's not even that you don't know how to wear them, but you're just looking for outfit ideas. And I can go into your closet, even though you may not think that you have anything to wear, and I can sort of create these ideas and these looks for you. I photograph them and then send you a PDF so you can refer back to about how to wear your pieces in your closet. So that's essentially how I work with my private clients. And let's get into why being organized is important. So last week I talked about self-care. This is another thing that we should add to the list about self-care. It is a great form of self-care. It helps eliminate frustration and distraction. So you're not going into your closet first thing in the morning and you don't know what to wear and you're frustrated and you can't find anything that you like. Being organized helps eliminate that. It helps save time. It begins the day on a positive note, which I love. It happens to be pretty to look at, and I think things that are pretty to look at help us feel better. It brings a sense of calm, and not only a sense of calm in your closet, but just in your life. It sort of declutters your mind. I don't know about you guys, but if something is disorganized in my house, I can't really function until it's organized and cleaned up. So I'm sure a lot of you have closets that are in disarray. And I think once they're organized, I think you'll find that sort of like sense of calm and your mind will just be at ease. It'll be easier to find things, obviously. Oh, I have a delivery. It helps you take pride in your clothing and everyday appearance. It increases your storage space. So I live in Jersey City. I have a tiny, tiny closet. I have a lot of clothes just because of what I do for a living. And so I think just being organized helps sort of increase the storage space and the space that I have and utilize it the best way that I can. It helps you care for your clothing, right? So buying clothing is sort of an investment. And so if you're investing in something, we should take care of it. And then it optimizes good energy and flow. I think people use the word feng shui. So if you're looking at this image, you're probably feeling overwhelmed. It actually drives me crazy. And I wish that I could just pop myself in there and work my magic. So it's overwhelming. For those of us who are disorganized and have cluttered closets and sort of just in a disarray in your wardrobe, it can be overwhelming. So the first couple of things we're going to ask ourselves when we are in our closets. So when we're starting the edit, you're going to pull out one piece at a time and you're going to ask yourself a couple questions. Do you love it? If you don't love it, That's going to go into one pile. Do you wear it? If you don't wear it, that's going to go into a pile. Does it fit? I think this is probably one of the hardest things for us to sort of, come to grips with, that we should really only have things in our closet that's taking up prime real estate if things fit right now. Don't worry about when you were 20 pounds lighter or 20 pounds heavier or what have you. I think what's important right now is getting things in your closet that you're wearing because they fit. And then the last question I want you to ask yourself is, does it portray who you are and your style? And not necessarily your style that you think that you have. It could be your style that you want to have, right? So first things first, when you go through each item, those are the questions that you're going to ask yourself. Let me just backtrack. Before you even sort of get into your closet, you're going to need to pull out some things. You're going to need cleaning product in a rag, vacuum, step stool, and trash bags. And I'll tell you why in a second. So as you're sort of pulling out each item, you're going to create piles. You're going to create a pile that you're going to keep. So do you love it? Yes. Do you wear it? Yes. Does it fit? Yes. You're going to keep that. You're then at some point going to maybe get to a piece where like you're sort of unsure of. That's going to go in the maybe pile. We're going to reassess that once the closet edit is complete. The third thing you're going to do is, if you don't want to keep it and it's not a maybe, then you have to determine if you're going to sell it, donate it, or throw it into the trash. So the sale pile is going to be name brands, things that are in really good condition, some things that you may be able to get some money for. The donation pile is going to be things that are still in good condition, because we don't want to give them anything, ratty or stained or anything like that. So good condition, you can't make any sort of money off of it. Or maybe you just don't want to put in the effort to try to sell it. So that's going to go into the donation pile. And then the fifth pile you're going to create is trash. So that means things with holes, things that are stained, things that are just have seen just trash. And that goes for everything, including your underwear drawer. So if you have underwears that have holes in it or that are severely stained, it's time to get rid of those and time to get new ones. So does anybody have any questions so far from what I've gone over? Because if not, I can continue on, but I just wanted to see if those sort of things made sense with all of you. I can't see any of you, so just Tammy, if you could just let me know.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat.
Okay.
And when Meredith is done sharing her screen, we'll also go into gallery view and we can all ask Meredith any questions.
Okay, perfect. So continuing on, so once we have these sort of 5 piles, you're obviously going to put them into trash bags. So the trash bag will be trash. You'll put them into a donation bag, etc. But from the things that you're going to keep in the maybe pile. So I know that there's one woman who asked about sort of purging sentimental items or gifts. I think that's a really hard thing to deal with, right? And when I work with my private clients, I allow them 3 pieces to keep in their closet. If you have 15 pieces of sentimental pieces, maybe your mom's hand-me-down, or maybe a gift that somebody got you and you just feel like, I have to sort of hold on to it. I think, again, if we're asking ourselves those questions and answering them appropriately, those are the things that can stay in your closet. If you don't feel like they have any sort of, if you don't feel like they don't have any worth of keeping, then we're going to put them into the maybe pile. So once your piles are complete, we'll go and reassess the maybe pile. So now we're looking through the maybe pile. And again, you may put some of those things back into your keep pile, and then some of those things you'll be able to sell, donate, or throw them into the trash. And these sentimental pieces, as we're going over them, you need to ask yourself and evaluate if it's worth keeping. And I think what happens a lot of the time is that we feel guilt around it. And that guilt is just an unhelpful emotion when we're dealing with sort of getting organized and purging. because most often if we feel guilt, we're gonna keep onto it no matter what. So again, I allow my clients 3 pieces of sentimental. And what I don't want to tell you is that, okay, well, you can keep the 3 sentimental pieces in here, but the 15 other pieces that you have in your closet, you can go ahead and put them in a box and throw them in the attic. That's just creating more clutter. So we really should assess what value we place on these items and what they mean to us and how we can utilize them. I think also having 3 pieces, it would be, I suggest sometimes maybe even, if it's some fancy scarf or some, pendant or something like that, putting it on display as sort of an honor of whomever it's from would be really nice, but it's not taking up prime real estate in your closet. So I hope that answers the question on and helping you sort of work through the sentimental pieces. And also, if somebody gives you a gift and you don't love it, it's your prerogative what you can do with it, right? You don't have to keep a hold of it because it was a gift. So again, I think sort of asking yourself the questions and then sort of, figuring out what you can do with it. If it was a really expensive thing that this person got you, maybe you can sell it. Again, I think that feeling guilty over it is not helpful. So I think that we should just really focus on the questions, ask what value it has in our life, and then sort of make a decision from there.
Meredith, okay. Good question. What place do you recommend when we want to sell our items? Where would you recommend?
Yes. So depending on what the item is, I know that there's a couple like local stores that take, I think, things that are not even name brand, like you could take your Forever 21 stuff. I think it's like Plato's Closet and things of that nature. But if you have really nice things and, maybe like a purse or, what have you, therealreal.com is a great place to sell your stuff, but also to buy used things as well. And they really have a high standard of things on their website. And it's a great place and you make some money and commission, and the more you sell, the more you make. And so I definitely suggest checking The Real Real out. It's REAL.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So let's start from your keep pile. Okay, so now we have our keep pile, and these are the things that are going to go back into our closet. So what we're going to do is we're going to first divvy up your keep pile by season. So anything that's winter will go in another pile, and anything that's, warm weather, tank tops, sundresses, what have you, is going to go in a completely other pile. So since we're in the middle of winter, we're actually going to box all of your spring stuff up and get it out of your closet. Now, whether you have space to do that, I'm not really sure. I think that if I can manage to do that in my tiny little New York City apartment, I think that we can all find some space to sort of store our off-season clothing, because that's just going to alleviate some more space and in your closet. So that's first. So once we have the stuff that we're working with, so winter clothing, sweaters, jeans, things of that nature. Oh, and also I should mention that, your everyday sort of stuff that you wear throughout the year is obviously going to stay in your closet. You're not going to pack that stuff away. So if you have tank tops that go under sweaters, you're going to keep that stuff out. And then, so what you're going to do is you're going to categorize all like things together. So as you can see, I've put all of my tank tops together here. I've put all of my tops here, and here. And then I've put all of my pants together here. So categorizing all things together. So we have our tops here, our tank tops here, other tops here. We have pants and skirts together. And then we have jeans and leather pants, and then sweatsuits and things of that nature. But I just wanted to show you that because that's how essentially you're going to think about your own closet, categorizing all like things together. So in essence, you're creating a space, right, for each thing. So for example, if I were to, let's just say, wear this sweatshirt today, I'm going to take it off the hanger. I'm going to not put the hanger back into the closet. So when I come back after wearing it, I'm going to put the hanger back on. I know where the hanger is because I've taken it out, and I know that it's meant for this piece. And then it's gonna go right back in the same place we took it out. And I think that's a really great way to sort of help stay organized. Okay, so then you're gonna also color code. So as you guys can see, I have all of my white tops here, white tank tops, and then it goes on to like yellows and oranges and grays, and then I have some animal print, and then you've got your black tops, again, sort of prints, camouflage, leopard prints, and then it moves into greens, blues, grays, and then pinks. Keeping your stuff color coded will help make this look really pretty and really beautiful. I already mentioned giving everything a home. The way that you're going to fold and hang things is also really important. So instead of folding them a different way each time, you're going to fold them the same way. So see how my pants are all sort of the same size. They don't look, some aren't wider than the others. So the best way to sort of fold your pants, hopefully you guys can see me, is you take your pants and you fold it in half, and then you sort of grab the crotch here, and you take the bottom and you fold the bottom pant up to the crotch, and then you fold the top over. And so when you lay your pants on top of each other, they're all going to line up perfectly. Again, sort of, that's probably the best way to fold your pants. Now, in terms of drawers, I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this really fast. If you have drawers as most of your storage, I think piling things like you would the pants and putting that into a drawer is gonna be really hard to see what you have. I'm a firm believer, and what works for me is being able to see everything. So I'm just gonna take you off my little stand here. Let's see if I can, oops, not that. All right, so as you guys can see, this is how you would fold your stuff for a drawer. So that way I have all of my sort of t-shirts and things that I don't want to have folded in a drawer, but I can see each and every single one of them. Okay, same with shorts. These are like my sports shorts, athletic shorts. I have them all folded in a certain way where you can see what you have. Again, because I think what happens is things are piled up, they get lost, you don't know what you have. That way you can't find what you want to wear in the morning. So this is a great way to visually see everything you have. And look at that Williston t-shirt right there.
I was just gonna say, I'm like,
yep. I'm gonna actually bring you up to my sock drawer just to kind of show you how I color code and organize my sock drawer. So all things, you know, all the same colors on one side, the other colors on the other. And what I actually do is, for instance, this guy, I fold one sock, I'll just show you actually, to make it even prettier. And I don't know how far you guys want to go since I'm not doing it for you, but what I do is I fold one sock inside out, and I have one sock, so silly that I'm showing you guys this, one sock right side out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the inside out sock, and I'm going to put the, you know, just how you normally do socks, but that way you can see what the sock is and you're not seeing all this nasty, you know, stuff on the inside. Again, these are details that you should pay attention to if you want to be super, super organized. And then moving on, I wanted to show you my bra drawer. So this is a great way to stack your bras. That way, again, you can see everything that everything that you have. You keep the bras that you wear most often to the front. And then your underwear drawer. I'm showing you guys some secrets here. I have all of my underwear folded. I have this sort of strapless bra that's in this case here. Everything is neat and organized. So I don't have drawers that have socks and underwear. I don't have drawers that have lingerie pieces and everyday underwear. Everything is separate, everything has a place, and everything has a home. That is a great, great, great way to be able to stay organized. Now, again, if you're tight on space, you certainly can have your socks in your underwear drawer, but I'm gonna have some links that will help you sort of keep those things divided so everything is nice and neat. Let's see, okay. So we went over how to fold things and hang things. Oh, and then I should also mention, when you are hanging things in your closet, everything should be facing the same way. So all of these tops, the front of my tops are facing the same direction. And depending on how big your closet is, it should be like that until about the center. And then what I do is I flip. So all of these tops facing me all the tops on this side are facing me. Again, just to help you see what you have. So if things are backwards and you've got 3 white tops in a row and you're not sure what the tops are because you are only seeing the back of them, having them face you and face forward towards the center of the closet is just another way to make things easier. Now, one of the most important things that I tell people is if you have wire hangers, get rid of them. You probably use, or maybe not so much anymore, but you probably use the dry cleaners often. What you're gonna do is when you have dry cleaners come back into the house, you get rid of those wire hangers immediately, and you have all the hangers in your closet should be the same. Now, I don't love my hangers. I have a lot of clothes, so to be able to switch out my hangers to hangers that I loved would be very expensive for me. So I haven't done that yet. But they're all the same color. But I mean, if we're really being nitpicky, I'll show you one thing here. Hopefully you can see that here. Okay, as you guys can see, there's like this little ridge on this one because I've gotten some new clothing and I've had to sort of go into my back stock of white hangers. So that bothers me. I want them to all be just like this part right here. Again, because it just makes everything look seamless. And see, there's a couple of them that I have here. Okay, that drives me crazy. One day I'll be able to afford switching out all of my hangers. So, all right, so let's move on to, let's see. All right, so I think I'm pretty much done in terms of showing you how, showing you why, showing you how to purge the piles you should have. Now I'm gonna share my screen again. And I'm just gonna quickly finish up this last bit of the presentation, then we can get into questions. And let's see here, sharing my screen. Okay, share. Okay, so I have found some of the things that I feel like has worked best for me. I should also show you another part of my closet. So I have some hangers here. They're felt hangers, they're affordable. I highly suggest that if you have mix mash of hangers in your closet, these are a really good brand. Shelf dividers, I'm gonna actually show you, I have a couple in my closet, I didn't show you those. But again, sort of a great way to, keep things in its place. A couple jewelry organizers. If you're going to use baskets in your closet, they all need to be in the same color family. So you don't want to have one black basket, one wicker basket, one white basket. It's going to really look disorganized and not put together. So just keep in mind that if you are going to use baskets or boxes of any sort, have them all be similar. I talked about drawer dividers. So that could be for your underwear, your socks, your shirts, depending on, what size your drawers are. These clear drawers, I love. I have a couple in my closet. They are the clear drawers that you see over here. You can either put shirts in them, purses, shoes, scarves, you name it, you can put them in there. Having something clear is really helpful because you can see what's in it. It also makes it look really chic, which I love. Okay, I'm gonna actually unshare my screen again. Boot shapers, I'm gonna just show you what those are. And you can sort of see the rest of my closet here. So this is one of my shoe closets. And it is a great way to see what I have and to also display them. So again, if you're thinking about your closet as a boutique, you want to display things like you would see them in a store because it makes it look really nice and inviting. So I have my shoe closet here, and I have some really tall boots at the bottom. And I'm gonna just show you quickly what a boot shaper is. So this is a boot shaper, and they come in, I think, 3 sizes. They come in tall, they come in medium, they come in short. A short one would be for something like this. But you see how, you know, flimsy this boot is? By putting a boot shaper in here, it really helps sort of keep its shape. They won't obviously like be creasing down here, so the longevity of your boots will last. And it also helps with them being able to stand up. Like so. Okay, because if I didn't have it, it would be flopped over and it would be really hard to sort of organize and put them away.
That's a game changer, Meredith, right
Yes.
there.
I don't think I have any short ones, but the link that I have here for you guys is to the shorter ones. And so if you don't have tall boots and you have, I'm trying to think of maybe a good example. I guess something like this would be a good example because it's like pretty loose. So if you had a boot shaper, it would be able to just sort of keep its shape. And again, as you guys can see, because it's been like that, you can see the crease, and that's not good, right? Because we want to, you know, take care of our stuff and have our pieces, we can use them as long as possible. And then also the last thing I want to show you guys was the shelf divider that I have up here. It's clear. Let's see. It's clear here. And this is a great way to keep your things in its place. So this is how I have my purses sort of organized. Again, not ideal, but because I have such a small closet, that's just how it's going to be. And these are super helpful because it's keeping everything sort of upright. And I also have another one. I'm not sure if you can see, it might be too dark. I have another one over there. So by pressing them together, it sort of creates space. And I just think that these are really useful and really helpful. So also, I mean, this is me showing you guys what I've done. I don't know if you can see that again because it's just so dark in here, but I've added some nails to be able to create some extra hanging space. Again, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I do everything I can to get organized in this tiny space that I have. And then one last thing I wanted to show you guys. Oh, the last link that I have on that list is actually purse shapers. So if you have a really nice purse that you've spent thousands of dollars on, such as something like this, probably not a good example because this bag is like, actually it holds its shape really well. But essentially what a purse shaper does, so let's say you have like a, I don't know, a $5,000 purse and it's leather and it doesn't hold its shape, a purse shaper will be able to be put into here and it will hold its shape like the purse should. Again, as you saw in my boots, you don't want things to be sort of droopy because it's just going to ruin the fabric. So that's what a purse shaper does. I'm going to take you into my office space. Oh, and let me just show you as I'm walking. This is how I have my hats hung on the wall. It's just a quick nail. I think that's the best way to do it. I have a box of baseball hats. So I wanted to show you guys again, going from our clothing closet to the rest of our lives, everything should have a place and should have a home. This is sort of how I have my makeup organized, and these drawers are really great. Again, I'm just going to quickly show you all of my lip stuff, all of my eyeliners, things of that nature. Everything has a home, everything has a place. I'm going to just quickly show you my last closet that I wanted to show. And this is my coat closet. These are fall and spring and rain jackets. And then I have my winter boots down there. So again, we're keeping the winter boots all together, rain boots down there, and then all jackets together. And again, I have my denim jackets. I have my leopard and printed pieces here. Then I have my black pieces here, my white pieces there. And then I have like the fun colors over here. And then this is some of my sweaters up there. Again, all color coordinated, folded in the same way. So I think that was all I wanted to show you guys. And then you can even, move on to your bookshelves if you wanted to. So all of my red books, all of my yellow books, all of my white books, everything is color coded, and it just looks really nice to look at. Here is another sort of way that you could store some shoes or purses, or this could be used for like a jewelry sort of thing. Again, just getting creative with your space and your organization. I think that's all I have to share with you guys. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Great. I'm going to remove, that was amazing. And I have serious jealousy and envy over your place.
I just wish I had a normal, like I wish I lived in a house, right? So I could actually make these things work for me. I hate having this closet with all of these things up top because I can't reach them, right? So like in an ideal world, I certainly wouldn't have my sort of dresser in there. That would be, that's such a gorgeous piece. I want that to be out, right? But because I have such limited space, I have to sort of make do. But I would probably have, maybe two bars of clothing, as opposed to like those shelves that I need to use a stool every time to get up to, right? Because that's just, if you have things up there that you want to wear, the likelihood of you going up there to get them is slim, right? It's inconvenient. It takes time. Think about trying to put those things away and color coordinated. It's not great. I don't love it, but.
Does anyone, oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh,
I just wanted to unmute. Meredith, I was literally pulling things out of my closet while you were talking. I was like, I gotta get this out of here. I was like having this like moment. I have to prepare for my 1 p.m., but thank you so much. This was unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. It was so good to see you.
I know. Bye-bye.
Bye. And just quickly, a shameless plug. This is a lot. This is overwhelming. Working with your wardrobe is challenging. So if this is something that is too much for you to do, that's why they make people like me, right? So I work virtually. So if you need help, I'm happy to help virtually. I'm also thinking about ways that we can do a safe sort of in person. For instance, I actually work with a client down in Tennessee who has flown me down to actually get in her closet, but we worked for months ahead of time virtually, like just how we are now. She flew me down there. I got into her closet. I reorganized everything. And so there are ways to be able to work together if you do need that extra sort of help, because having sort of the moral support and the physical support and the emotional support, because it's emotional, I'm here. And I just wanted to actually, I'm going to share my screen one last time, sorry, because there are other ways that I can help you as well.
And I'll share this presentation with everybody after. So
Great.
We'll send out a copy of the video and we'll also share the presentation.
Amazing. Let's see if I can go back. Can I go back? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, great. All right. Well, we're just going to scroll on through. Yes, so somebody put in the comments, I think it was Sam, that I styled James Harden. Yes, I styled him a few times. And I actually, because he's in New York now, crazy story, I got a text message from his assistant this morning asking me if I could go buy some things for him. So I'm actually glad that he's in New York, because that may mean more work for me, which is always amazing. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so last page here. By the way, all of those links are clickable too in this PDF. So once you get it, you'll be able to click them and they'll take you to the site. So these are some of the other ways that I am happy to help you guys out. So we talked about the closet organization. We talked about the closet management. I do personal shopping as well. So how I worked with my client in Tennessee was, for instance, if she was going on a trip with her boyfriend to California and she was going to be doing some hiking, she was asking about some workout gear and also like a lightweight sort of rain wind jacket. So she would send me her list. I would then find these things online. I would send her the links and she would buy what she liked. She would then, it's essentially just the same thing, but virtually. She would get the stuff, try the stuff on for me. I would tell her, yes, no, keep that, don't keep that, send all the stuff that she didn't want back. And that's how personal shopping can be done virtually. I can also do it in person safely, obviously during COVID as well. Lookbook usually is best if I'm in person to do that. That's just the easiest way. Again, I think because we have our own eyes on our own closet, sometimes we can sort of get bogged down with the idea that we don't have anything to wear. But if you have a new fresh set of eyes coming into your closet and saying, oh, that could be worn with that and that could be worn with that, that's probably something that you can't see yourself because you're so sort of used to having your clothing. So lookbook is a really great idea. And that doesn't actually require to spend any money, like in terms of shopping new things. That could just be done with what you have already. Special events, I mean, that's obviously not happening much now, but if you do have a special event and you're sort of like, I don't know what to wear to this, call me, I can figure something out. And then travel styling, which is kind of fun, but a lot of people hate it. A lot of people hate packing, and a lot of people don't know what to pack. So that's where I come in. I can help you sort of get prepared for your trip and pack for you, create outfits, accessories, etc., etc. So that's it.
Great. Does anyone have any questions? I know I have the most important question. How long should you, if you haven't worn something in your closet and it's been there for a long time, what's kind of like the cutoff of like, I haven't looked at it or touched it in a year or 2 years or?
I think it depends on the person, honestly. But if you're looking at like a year or two, a year, maybe it's okay. But like 2 years, you haven't worn it, it's probably time to get rid of it.
Good to know.
And that's another reason why I love doing this. It's because I'm able to sort of help you make these decisions, right? Because they're hard decisions. It's hard to get rid of stuff. A lot of us think like, oh, well, maybe, one day I'll be able to wear that, or, I've done that so many times. And then it's like, well, if it comes back into style, I also should also preface this by saying like my closet is not like a classic closet, how I sort of style other people. I tend to buy things that are trendy and things of that nature. But when I'm working with somebody, I don't really shop for them like that. And each client is obviously different. But anyways, I say all that to say it's easier for me to make the decisions for you. And so I just think having that extra bit of help to actually say goodbye to something that no longer suits you and you're no longer wearing.
Yeah, I think everybody could use a personal assistant to kind of guide us into, no, you need to throw that out or donate.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions?
She certainly has forced her mother to throw many things out. But I have to say, though, that in my profession, in athletics, my wardrobe was sweatpants, sweatsuits, golf shirts, golf shorts. And that was my wardrobe, but she has actually given me some excitement about looking at other types of clothing. And I've always been a very sort of color coordinated.
No, wait, time out. she'll have like a bright orange sweater. I love my mom. She wears amazing colors. Bright orange sweater with like, I don't know, a floral pant with orange in it, and then orange shoes. And I'm like, no, mom, it's too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was about to say, is that I've started to mix and match things much better, and just is giving me a different eye to look at clothes, even in my advanced age.
Mm-hmm. Great. I have a good question. I tend to buy a lot of clothes. Mm-hmm. So what's the rule of keep adding to your wardrobe, but never taking away from your wardrobe? Rule there.
If I give this advice, I should probably take it myself, but I don't. So, no, I think within reason, right? It depends on what your style is, and how many. Like if you want like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a satellite wardrobe where you have, t-shirts. We're going to get into this next week. T-shirts, blazers, cardigans, jeans, loafers, like that sort of thing. You can only have so much of that, right? When you're buying a lot of stuff, it's generally not those classic pieces that can be styled with everything in your wardrobe. So I think those pieces are absolutely fun to add to your wardrobe. But again, it depends on the person and what you're trying to achieve. But I think it's within reason. Like if your stuff is overflowing in your closet, it's time to get rid of stuff. And it's probably, you need to get rid of stuff before you buy more, if that helps.
Definitely helps. Yeah. Any other questions?
I think the other thing that Meredith has done well, in my experience, is that when she was younger, name brand was the thing. I mean, that is what she wanted, and she would pay top dollar for it. And as she learned to be on her own and how much things cost, she has really refined that and can go into Target and put together an outfit to die for with a small budget. And I think that's helped me rethink how I buy as well.
Yeah, that's actually a really important point, and I can touch on that next week too. I mean, style is all about how you put things together. It's not about where they're from. I mean, you could have a $5,000 shirt and wear it with like the most ridiculous pants, and people think that it's cool because it's like $5,000. It's so silly. It's so silly. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money to create your own style and to look good doing it.
It's a good point. Very good point. All right. Let's see. There is Anne asks, how do you determine your style?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is about your personality. And I'll just talk from personal experience just because I don't know Anne, and I'm not quite sure how I can help you at this point. But in terms of how I determine my style, right? So I determine my style, I guess, in with my personality, right? Like, I'm sporty, I'm edgy, I'm flirty and fun. And I think finding pieces that sort of speak to me in that way. So for example, this sort of wild shirt that I have here speaks to my personality, right? It kind of encapsulates all three of those things. It's like sporty because it's got like a collar. It's fun and flirty because it's pink and it has these palms. And it's a little bit edgy because it's such an eccentric print and pattern. I think that is probably the best way to help, because essentially it's just an extension of your personality, right? You're showing the world your personality through your clothing. And I think that's probably how you can determine what your style is. You can come up with some words. if you are preppy or, I'm trying to think of some things that my mom, like she was sporty for a really long time. She wears a lot of golf clothes because she golfs a lot. So, sporty and comfort, right? I think those are like good words to describe somebody's style.
Yeah, and we will definitely cover all of that next week. Meredith has a style session next Wednesday at 12 noon. So we can all ask her all of those great questions then. So if we don't have any other questions, I want to thank you, Meredith. It was amazing. I feel like I need to take the rest of the day off now. I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
A lot of closet clean out work. We'll share this presentation with everybody, but thanks so much, Meredith.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was helpful. And again, reach out with any questions you may have.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.